Dana White just announced the fights for UFC 320, and to say the least, this card is going to be good. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on every matchup that Dana White announced. I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on what it may mean for the division and even my early predictions. Okay, this event will feature 2 title fights and a matchup between 2 top contenders that have already challenged for a championship. One of them already won a championship, who are on the verge of contending for a championship again, okay? Let's get into it. All right, first of all, I'm going to start with Prochazka versus Roundtree, which was announced by Dana about 2-3 hours ago. And I'm going to end up with Poatan versus Ankalaev too, so stay tuned. First of all, Prochazka versus Roundtree. What it means for the division is what I'm going to talk about first. So, is this a title eliminator? Is it not? And it kind of depends. If you look at the light heavyweight division, there aren't many people that Pereira has not faced, whereas Ankalaev has faced neither of these gentlemen. And Pereira has beat Roundtree, okay? It was his last successful title defense before losing the belt to Ankalaev. And Prochazka is down 0-2 to Pereira, losing both fights by knockout in the second round, so before we even saw championship rounds. So it's unlikely that he would get another shot against Pereira, but if he beats Roundtree, that would be 2 in a row, right? He'd have knocked out Hill and then beat Roundtree. To be honest, decision, a knockout, whatever he does, it's equally impressive. Roundtree's a great contender. He's coming off of a fantastic win over Jamal Hill. Looked great in the fight. Yuri looked great in the Jamal fight. Ended up finishing Hill in round 3, knocked him down twice, maybe 3 times for the finish. So both of these guys coming off a fight up against Jamal Hill. And this fight, I think that it is going to be a title eliminator. I think that the winner of this fight needs to receive a title shot. Okay, needs to. Absolutely needs to happen. I know that Pereira has beat Yuri twice, but if he wins 2 times against contenders like Jamal Hill, who is a former champion, and then again against Khalil Roundtree, who's coming off a fantastic win, especially if he does it in good fashion, if he looks good in the fight, if he performs well, how are you going to deny him a title shot? Especially if Ankalaev wins the title, which I'm going to give my prediction on later. If Ankalaev wins it, absolutely. We have not seen Yuri versus Ankalaev. That will be 2 great wins for Yuri. Ankalaev will have been coming off consecutive Poatan wins. We need to see the fight, right? If it's Pereira, then obviously he's lost to him twice, so you can question giving him a title shot, but I would still do it. Roundtree, he has some moments in Pereira, even knocked him down one time. Why not run it back, right? He's a great striker. If he beats Hill and then Yuri, then those are 2 former champions, 2 top contenders as of right now. Look great in the Hill fight. Like I said, beat Yuri anyway. It's impressive. Yuri's just a great fighter. Khalil's a great fighter, right? Both top contenders, both on the verge of contending for a championship either way. If they get another win, especially against one another, no matter who wins this fight, they need a title shot, right? Especially if Ankalaev does beat Pereira, because we haven't seen Ankalaev versus Khalil, we haven't seen Ankalaev versus Yuri. So I think that this is definitely a title eliminator. The only thing you can argue is if Poatan wins the championship, but I think that the winner of this fight would still deserve one. Now, they both look good against their last performance of Jamal Hill. I'm going to give my prediction on the fight. Now, these predictions that I'm going to give you for not only this fight, but the one against Corey Sandhagen Morale, which I'm about to get to, and then Poatan versus Yuri. Not Poatan versus Yuri, Poatan versus Ankalaev. They're early predictions, guys, right? I haven't watched my fight tape. I haven't really looked deep into stats. I know the fighters, obviously. Like, I've watched their fights. Not like I became a fight fan last week or anything, but I like to do a deep dive before all of my predictions, so these predictions can change. You know, I'll sit down, I'll brainstorm, I'll think about all the different ways the fight could play out and things. These predictions may change, but these are the predictions, first thought predictions, all right? Give me Khalil Roundtree, okay? I think that Yuri Prochazka is going to be favored by the fans. I think the fans are going to lean Yuri Prochazka, but me, I'm going Khalil Roundtree. Like I said, looked great in the Jamal Hill fight. Very evasive, whereas Yuri, though he is unorthodox, almost everything he throws is big. I think that Khalil can block, evade, dodge, do whatever he needs to do to stay out of trouble. If he does get caught by Yuri, he has great comeback abilities, right? And he's just such a great technical striker. Don't get me wrong, so is Yuri, but Yuri's more wild, more of a fires fighter, a little more entertaining. Khalil's entertaining as well, can brawl for sure, has a lot of power, and I mean a lot of power, but just more technical. I've got to lean to more technical guy. Yuri does have slight physical advantages, but I think that Roundtree can stay out of trouble for the most part, recover fast enough if he does get in trouble, and really uses good kicks to slow Yuri down. Leg kicks are great for fighting a fighter like Yuri Prochazka. I think we see a lot of them. And just stay out of trouble for Yuri. Give me Khalil Roundtree. I think it's going to be a great fight, though. I think Yuri's going to have his moments. Khalil's going to have his moments. We're going to see both of these fighters go down eventually in this fight. And I probably would lean Yuri if it was a 5-round fight, but it's not. It's 3 rounds. So I've heard it honestly should be a 5-round fight with what this fight means for the division and the top contenders that they are, but it's not. And I'm not saying Khalil has bad cardio. We just haven't seen him in 5-round wars. We haven't seen Yuri in many either, except outside of Glover. But Yuri does have the experience advantage. But since the 3-round fight, I'm not really looking into that. Give me Khalil Roundtree. I think he wins 29-28 decision, okay? But I do think it will be close. All right, next up, Merab versus Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen is a good contender coming off a win, though it was controversial against Figgy. Right before that, he lost to Umar. Before that, had 3 great wins, okay? Had his moments against Umar, too, but he is a good striker who has leaned a lot more towards his wrestling lately. But I think we see a striking heavy Corey Sandhagen in this fight. We know that he's basically made a transition from a pure striker to a grappler now, right? We haven't seen him really strike for a full 5 rounds. He was striking against Figgy in their fight, but it ended second round due to an injury, so I'm not really looking at that. And before that, like when he went on his win streak, He wrestled through most of those wins. He really has become a grappler. I don't like it because Corey was so unpredictable on the feet. He's still a great striker. We just don't see it as much. He doesn't utilize that great striking. He likes to use his wrestling. But he's not going to out-grapple Merab. So we are going to see a grapple-heavy Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen has good takedown defense, but he has never fought a grappler like Merab Dvalishvili. Okay? Almost no one has, especially in this division. Merab is one of the best grapplers the bantamweight division has ever seen. Take that back. The best grappler the bantamweight division has ever seen. One of the best grappler that the UFC has ever seen. And I think he does get Corey Sandhagen down. I think that Merab, the striking is underrated. Of course, he's not as good as Corey Sandhagen on the feet, but I don't think that Corey lands but so clean on Merab, right? Keeps a high guard. He just walks forward. He's going to put Corey up against the cage. He's going to out-grapple him. He's going to win this fight by decision. Corey is a great striker. He's a good wrestler. He has Merab beat on the feet, but I think that Merab can keep it off the feet. I think Merab can get him down. And if we do see Corey try to wrestle, I don't think we will. Hopefully we won't. That would be terrible planning on his part. Then he's giving away to win. You know what I mean? Also, we saw that Merab does have finishing ability. I mean, he's finished his last fight. I don't think he finishes Corey Sandhagen. But give me Merab by decision. I will give Corey Sandhagen maybe 1 round. But give me Merab. I think he wins the fight by decision. All right, the main event. Magomed Ankalaev, the UFC light heavyweight champion, taking on Alex Poatan Pereira, the former champion who was recently dethroned in his last fight. So Ankalaev beat him in March. Now, he is back. He is looking to regain his championship against the guy that took it away from him. This will be Ankalaev's first title defense. And I think that it plays out basically the same way. We know Pereira has been working on his grappling, right? It'd be dumb not to, but this guy is just such a great grappler. The striking really is underrated. People forget, man. He could say he outstruck Johnny Walker. I know Walker has a terrible chin, but if you take away the aspect of the chin, Walker's really not a bad striker outside of the chin in the recovery, but he outstruck him. A lot of his finishes are actually on the feet. He's finished a lot of people with a head kick. In fact, you could say it's his signature move. You look at his record, he's finished several guys that way. The striking really is underrated. I don't think he has the same striking as Alex Pereira. We know that he's had trouble with leg kicks in the past. Pereira poses a significant leg kick threat. You know, he loves the calf kicks. He's got heavy hands, right? I think that if it stays on the feet, he will defeat Magomed Ankalaev. But Magomed Ankalaev is going to out-wrestle this man, right? Pereira has 0 wrestling, 0 grappling. And Ankalaev is going to win this fight. I think he wins it by decision. Same way as last time. And I think that he defends the championship. I think Pereira has his moments. I do think he'll defend a couple takedowns, but Magomed's going to pressure him up against the fence, he defends really well, I do think Pereira may hurt him a time or two, but as soon as Ankalaev gets hurt, he's shooting right for the double leg, and most of the time he's going to get it, right? Like I said, Pereira may defend a few, but overall, give me Magomed Ankalaev. I think he wins the fight by decision. I think he out-wrestles Alex Pereira again, okay? So those are my predictions. Those are my thoughts on the matchups. I think both the champions are going to retain their titles. I think that both the champions are going to wrestle in these fights. Yuri versus Khalil, it's going to be a banger. I'm leaning Khalil Roundtree. And those are my thoughts, right? So Khalil versus Yuri, light heavyweight title eliminator, 2 top contenders, going to be a war. Merab Corey, probably not going to be much of a war. And then Ankalaev versus Poatan. Anything with Poatan is usually going to be entertaining, but if he grapples the whole time like I see him doing, it's really not going to be that entertaining. But I think that both the champions, Merab and Ankalaev, defend their belts. I think Roundtree wins his fight up against Yuri Prochazka. Like I said, I do think he'll have some moments, and I think that Roundtree will fight Ankalaev next for the championship. Probably UFC 325, 326, 327, something like that. I'm not predicting the card. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my first look, early predictions, okay? Like I said, predictions may change, of course, leading up to the card, fight week, maybe a week before then. I am going to post another prediction video regarding the full main card, because obviously we're not going to have a 3-fight main card. And like I said, the 3 fights that I just predicted, they may change. The breakdowns may change. I may view the fight differently. We'll just have to see, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, okay? I'm going to add an end screen over here. This is my most recent video where I matchmake the whole UFC lightweight division, everyone's that ranked, and as you can see right here, my profile. Please subscribe. Have a great day.